Hello, today I'm coming at you guys with my very serious giant seaweed collecting guide. To start this off, we're going to have to go to the roots of the giant seaweed where the seed was planted and will soon grow into a fully grown adult giant seaweed where you can harvest its organs for those mad farming and crafting experience gains, which may sound kind of morbid, but you gotta do what you gotta do. No one is here to judge you, except maybe yourself and everyone around you. Anyway, to start this off, you need to have completed the Bon Voyage quest, which in of itself is already way more work than you'll probably want to put into this, but trust me, like the thoughts my one night stands have had of me, you do it once and you'll never have to do it again. Or if you're a hardcore Iron Man, you'll probably do this multiple times, so you're exempt. I would love to go over the steps to complete Bon Voyage, but I've already done it and would rather not have to relive the experience, so I'm going to assume you have already completed it or looked for a guide that has Bon Voyage in it. Things you will need. The only skill requirement being 23 farming, not very hard to get. Take some time off, you're good to go. The amount of seaweed though you get per plant is skill with level, so if you want more seaweed, you got to get higher farming. And as I like to say, the higher you are, the better everything is. So if you want to get higher, farming you require. Other things you will need. Seaweed spores. I'll go over how to get these later for you by the way, so don't worry. My guides are friendly to all demographics, even you normal men, normal women out there, so don't worry. Compost is required, but ultra compost is recommended so you can have the most beefy seaweed of the bunch and get more seaweed per spore. A rake, a spade, and a seed dibber. By popular belief, I would also say to have magic secateurs, but it says on the wiki and proven by God himself that they don't work on the seaweed. But I'm superstitious, and so are you, so I'm going to include them anyway. If you already have a tool leprechaun holding these items though, then don't worry about bringing them with you. There's a chained up leprechaun ready to serve your needs when you get to the seaweed patch. You will also want to bring a diving apparatus and a fishbowl helmet so you don't have to worry about having to remember to breathe, as hard as it may be. And even though I don't use them in the video, you can also bring flippers so you can run underwater. Only reason I don't use them is because I went too under dry in them and gave up after that. After you have all your supplies, you're going to want to make your way to Fossil Island. How you get there is all on you, whether you take the boat or use a dig site pendant. I'm leaving that all up to you. You're a big boy who can make big boy decisions, so it's all up to you, champ. If you're taking the boat, then you want to quick travel and then click on the rowboat and row to the north of the island. Then after you get there, you're going to want to click on the rowboat again and click row out to sea. This will bring you to a small island with a bank chest. If you took the dig site pendant, then you're either going to want to use the mushroom and then run to the previously described boat and make it to the small island with the chest, or if you don't have the mushroom unlocked, then you're going to want to make your way to this boat and sail to the small island with the bank chest. After you get here, there will be two options, one for Iron Man and one for Normal Man. If you're a Normal Man or Iron Man with seaweed spores already and have your diving apparatus / fishbowl helmet on, then you can click on the boat, dive into the sea, and then skip to this time in the video or continue to learn about how Iron Man gets seaweed spores. If you're a normal man and need seaweed spores, then go to the Grand Exchange and stop watching this video to think about your life choices leading up to this point, and then after you're done thinking about that, get back to me with a 5-paragraph essay on how you plan to better yourself beyond this point for making me have to tell you that. If you're an Iron Man and need seaweed spores, then you must either A. Gear up to fight lobstrosities, B. Get them from these monsters that don't matter, C. Find something you can AFK while underwater like fletching, crafting, elking, etc. as you wait for them to spawn around you, or D. Get them from Marion's Market with Mermaid's Tears. I don't use B or D, so I won't be covering them, and that means they don't really matter. If you pick C, then you can skip to this time in the video or continue to learn about lobstrosities. If you're an Iron Man needing spores and picked A, then you're going to want to wear lightweight gear and your best weapon. I recommend using a trident because then you don't have to move like the lazy shit that you are, and it's what I use, so that's what I'll be using in this video. If you have your gear, you're going to want to dive like the normal man earlier and start swimming east. I know without the fishbowl helmet and diving apparatus that you will drown in without flippers. This will make it even more cheek clenching, but don't worry, as a fish I once knew said, just keep swimming. Once you make it to this wrecked ship, you're going to want to click on this plant door to navigate through it. You can't wear the fishbowl helmet past this point, hence why you're just drowning yourself. Start swimming southeast until you reach this obstacle in the wall, navigate through it, and you'll be in the lair of the lobstrosities. Stand on the air bubble when you need to and kill the lobstrosities until you've got a reasonable amount of seaweed spores, and after that go back to the small island with the chest and listen to how to get them with option C, since you will also be doing this while killing lobstrosities. I thought I'd see you here because you were lazy like me or want to know how to get seaweed spores while AFKing. It's relatively simple to get them this way because all you have to do is stand underwater like so. You don't have to be doing something while just standing here waiting for them to spawn, but unless you want to be alone with your own thoughts until you drift away into insanity, you should probably have something to do while waiting. Keep doing this until you have a reasonable amount of seaweed spores and then go back up to the island. Now with your newly acquired seaweed spores and with the tools in your inventory or waiting in the leprechaun, you're going to want to dive. Once you're here, you're going to want to swim south to the 2 seaweed patches. Grab your tools from the 2 leprechaun if you don't already have them in your inventory and begin raking the patches. Once that's done, plant the seed in the patch with your seed dibber and put your compost on the patch if you have some. And then watch your seed grow roots and soon after turn into a fully grown adult seaweed where you can harvest its organs and get mad farming and crafting experience gains. And that's kind of about it. You can wait around for them to grow and collect more seaweed spores. You can do quests, you can 3-tick fish, or you can just do nothing with your worthless life. Anything you can imagine, you can accomplish as long as you just put in the effort and not be a complete dipshit. Anyway, once they are fully grown after about 35 to 40 minutes, pull out your superstitious magic secateurs and harvest the giant seaweed while noting them on the leprechaun once your inventory is full. And then repeat the process all over again until you have about 20,000 of them banked for 99 crafting, where you can then spend 70 more hours collecting buckets of sand. Highly recommend to do this while waiting for seaweed to grow until you drive yourself mentally insane. Anyway, that's it for this guide. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so I can feel very warm inside, or don't if you want me to suffer. Also follow my Twitch if you want to see how unfunny and uninformative I actually am. See you guys.